Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to compare the Mastercard Black Card versus the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But before we do that, I would ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So I just read an article over the last couple days that Black Card LLC, which is the company that issues the Mastercard Black Card in partnership with Barclays Bank, is actually suing Chase and Visa and Capital One, basically saying that those companies conspired against Black Card. When Black Card first came out, targeting sort of the affluent customer and the luxury travel customer or whatever, they are basically making the case that Chase and Visa and Capital One somehow conspired to sort of hurt their business so that they could launch their own cards to that same market and, not have the Black Card as a competitor, and they could kind of win that business themselves. So I don't know all the details about that and what's true and what's not true, but that is what is happening as of the making of this video. So I thought to myself, well, an interesting exercise would be if, the Mastercard Black Card is sort of being hurt by these other companies. It would be interesting to see how they compare in terms of their, luxury travel card with the top card on the market, and see if, maybe the Mastercard Black Card is really good, and, because of the fact that it has not, sort of been out there and known as much as the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is what we're comparing it to, maybe there's just something missing here. Maybe these companies did somehow try to suppress them or hurt their business so they couldn't advertise as much or whatever. So I thought, let's do a, sort of head-to-head comparison of the Mastercard Black Card and the Chase Sapphire Reserve to see how they stack up. And that's what we're going to do. So both of these cards have an annual fee of $495, which is very convenient because that allows us to do a, real apples-to-apples comparison of them. So in terms of a travel credit, the Mastercard Black Card has a $100 travel credit each year. The Chase Sapphire Reserve has a $300 travel credit each year. Now, looking at that, that's sort of a big deal because, you have a $495 annual fee. The Black Card, if it's a $100 travel credit, you still need to find at least $395 of value out of that card. With the Chase Sapphire, you have a $300, then you only need to find $195 of value out of that card. So assuming that you max out those travel credits, that's very significant when you have a card that has a very high annual fee like this. Now, in terms of the points, the Mastercard Black Card gives you 1 point per dollar, but those points are worth more when you redeem them. Essentially, if you redeem them for airfare, they're worth 2 cents. If you redeem them for cash back, they're worth 1.5 cents. So, for example, if you spent $10,000 with this card, you would end up getting 10,000 points, which would be worth $200 when redeemed toward airfare, or $150 when redeemed toward cash. Now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve has a different point structure, so it's difficult to completely go apples to apples here. So I'm going to sort of do a supposition here in terms of how you might spend on this card in order to try to compare them. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve has 3 points per dollar on travel and dining, and it gives you 1 point per dollar everywhere else. So if we, as an example, wanted to say that half of your spending on this card was travel and dining, and the other half was, any other purchase that you might make, if you put those together and you averaged it out, you're getting 3 points per dollar here, 1 point per dollar here, you average them together, you would be saying that you're getting 2 points per dollar, if you go by the example that I'm using. That said, if you got 2 points per dollar on this card, each point is worth a penny, but when you redeem for travel, you get a 50% bonus. So if we use that same $10,000 spend that we talked about in the Black Card example, you would end up with 20,000 points, with the supposition that I have made. And when you get a 50% bonus on that, that would mean that you would get $300 if you redeemed it for travel through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. If you used it for cash, those points would be worth $200. So if you buy, sort of my example of, the 3 points and the 1 point equaling 2 points per dollar, the Chase Sapphire Reserve actually could very well give you more than the Black Card does. Now, if you didn't spend very much on travel and dining with the Chase, and you put a lot of points where you're only getting 1 point per dollar, well, then they might be more even, or maybe the Black Card is even better. But if you use that sort of standard that I just used, then I would say the Chase Sapphire Reserve is still beating the Black Card. In terms of bonus, the Black Card does not have one. In terms of, for Chase Sapphire Reserve, they very famously have a 50,000 point bonus if you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months. And if you redeem it for travel, that'll equal $750. In value, if you redeem it for cash back, that would be $500. In terms of lounge access, in airports, both of them have the Priority Pass Select package, which allows you to access a variety of lounges in airports around the country and the world. In terms of point transfers, the Mastercard Black Card does not have any point transfers, at least not as far as I could tell. I tried to dig around as much as I could, and I don't see that they can transfer with any airlines or hotel programs. The Chase Sapphire Reserve does allow you to transfer your points into Southwest, United, JetBlue, Marriott, Hyatt, and a handful of others as well. In terms of luxury gifts, this is not something that maybe you normally think about, but I put it out here because the Mastercard Black Card promises that you will occasionally get some luxury gifts when you are a card member. They don't necessarily say what those luxury gifts are or how often you will get them, but it is one of their bullet points that they say you're going to get some sort of luxury gifts for being a card holder. The Chase Sapphire Reserve does not offer you any promises about luxury gifts, so in that one, we would have to give the Black Card Mastercard the upper hand. So if that's important to you to get some extra goodies, sort of mystery extra goodies, I guess, well, then maybe the Black Card Mastercard is for you. But looking overall here, you have to say that the Chase Sapphire Reserve is beating the Mastercard Black Card on almost every measure. A bigger travel credit in terms of points, it's at least a wash, maybe even better for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You don't have a bonus with the Black Card when you do have that significant bonus potential with the Sapphire Reserve. The point transfers, with the Black Card not having them and Chase having multiple partners, there are, just many reasons why the Chase Sapphire Reserve beats the Black Card Mastercard. And so when you're looking at a $495 annual fee, it's much easier to justify it on the Chase Sapphire Reserve than it is on the Mastercard Black Card. So I don't know how the luxury card is going to do in its lawsuit against Chase and Visa and Capital One. Don't know if they have a good case or not, but I would have to say that it probably would help their case to some extent if they had a card on the market that was so good that when someone compared it to the top card from Chase or anybody else that is sort of targeting that affluent luxury market, it would probably be better for them if their card was a little bit more competitive. I don't know. We will see. But, maybe they will make the case that the reason their card isn't as competitive is because they were hurt so badly by, the actions of these other companies that they can't compete on the same level anymore. I don't know how that is all going to play out. But anyway, that is sort of our, Mastercard Black Card versus Chase Sapphire Reserve showdown. If you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve and or the Mastercard Black Card, you have other things that you would like to add here, I would love to hear them in the comments. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. Please go to proudmoney.com where we do other credit card comparisons and personal finance news and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks.